Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we've done our artist page, what we need to do is make it so that our artist names link to that page. So for example, on our now playing bar, we have the artist name. We're going to make it so that when we click on this, it will take us to this artist page. So go back to our now playing bar.php. So now playing bar.php and scroll down to the bottom where we have our HTML elements. So now playing bar container. And then this part here is what we want to change. This span right here inside of the track name element, alright? And what we're going to do is convert it to this span that we've used for our links here. So if I inspect element, you'll see this browse button has the span role equals link tab index 0, and then on click it opens the page. Okay, so all we need to do on this span is just put role equals link tab index equals 0, like that. And like I said before, all this does is just add some accessibility. It makes it a bit easier for people with screen readers or people that need to tab through the page who don't click. So that's the purpose of adding role link and tab index 0. So copy those two and paste it again below on this artist name one right here. So we've added it to the span underneath track name and also the span underneath artist name. And we're going to add in one more place, and that's on this image right here. So we're adding it to the image like that. And the reason we've added it to all these three is because we want the image to link to the album, we want the song name to link to the album, and then the artist name to link to the actual artist, okay? So we haven't added the on-click part here yet because we don't know what it is. At the time of loading this, we don't know what song's playing. We need to make it so that it adds the on-click part when we load a new track. So in our set track function, scroll down to this part right here, this Ajax call where we get the song JSON data. And then inside this get artist JSON part, we take the name that was passed back from the Ajax call and we add it to the now playing bar. So what we're going to do as well as that is add the link too. So we can just use the exact same selector as we used above. So $, parentheses, double quotes, and inside there do the class artist name like that, and then span. So the span underneath the artist name element, all right? And instead of doing .text, we're going to do .attr attribute. So we're adding an attribute to this. And attributes are these things right here. The class is an attribute, role is an attribute, tab index is an attribute. We're going to add this on-click attribute. So this attr takes two parameters. The first one is the name of the attribute, so on-click like that. And then comma, and the second attribute is the attribute value, which for us is going to be open page parentheses and close it off as well. So open page, and then this is going to link to artist.php id equals, and then in there we just need to put the artist ID. But to do that we need to break this string up first. So I've put double quotes, so I've split this string up now. We have two strings, we have this one here and then we have this one, and in between those two strings I'm going to put plus album.id like that, and then another plus to join the strings back up. Alright, and that's it. So let's just test that out. So go back to our page and refresh it. So on my album page, it doesn't really matter as long as the now playing bar is showing. So if we click on the artist name, which in this case is Homer, it should take us to the page, which it doesn't. So let me just double check that that was actually added. So we can see that on click has not been added to this element. So I'm going to do a hard reload. So right click on the refresh button, empty cache, hard reload, and hopefully we'll see the on-click attribute added now, which we still do not. So I'm going to go to my console and see if there's any errors, which there is. Album is not defined. So we can see album here is not defined. So let's go back to here. So it shouldn't be album, it should be artist. And a lot of you might have spotted that. So it's not album.id, it's artist ID. So we're adding the artist name. So when I click on this now, it should take us to, in this case, Bart Simpson's page. Click on that, and it does, takes it to Bart Simpson's page. So we know that kind of logic works. Let's go ahead and add it for the other two, the album artwork and the song name. So real simple, just copy and paste that line, and I realised I forgot to add a semicolon at the end of that. I'll add one now. It doesn't matter too much because JavaScript is a very forgiving language and you don't actually need to add the semicolons, but it's good to do it anyway. So I'll copy that, and then I'm going to paste it underneath here inside the get album one, and this one is going to be album.id. Okay, and then we also need to change this link to album.php, and then finally change artist name to album link. So copy album link and paste it in there. And then that's fine. So the album artwork now, the image itself should link to the page. So I'll click on this, it should take me to the actual album for that. So I'll click on that, and it doesn't. Do I see any errors? Or do I see it in there? So I'll go to my album link part, and then we don't see the on-click there. So I'll do a hard reload. And we still don't see it. Did I make another mistake? Probably. It shouldn't be span, it should be IMG. So I'm making a lot of mistakes at the moment, but we know that's fine now. So I've saved the page and then refresh it, and now when I click it, it should take me to the album itself, which it does. Okay. So last thing to do is just do the same thing for the song name. We want the song name to link to the album itself. So we can do that under here as well. But instead of using this part, we're going to use this selector right here. So track name span, I'm going to copy that because this is where we do the title of the song. So track name span, and then copy this part up here because it's going to link to exactly the same thing. So attribute, and keep this all the same. Okay, so track name span is linking to that too. So save that, and now when I refresh the page and click on the song name, it should take me to the album as well. But I'm already on the album page, so what I'm going to do is get off the album page, and I'll click on that, and it takes me back. So one last thing we're going to do is make it so that when we hover over one of these links, the mouse pointer changes to let the user know it's actually a clickable link, because at the moment it doesn't. And that's real simple, just one little bit of CSS. Go to your style.css and just do square brackets, role equals link, like that, role equals link, and then do cursor pointer. Refresh the page, and now when I hover over these, you hopefully see a pointer, which you do. So this has added the cursor pointer attribute to anything with a role of link, you see right there, which also counts for these items on the navigation bar too. Alright, so that's good. We now link to the artist and the album pages.